So I just did this thing where I was putting together the video for today, and I deleted something from the memory stick because I thought that it would save it to the Movie Maker program, and it did not. So I just lost about 8 minutes of my talking about different things. So this is take 2. I can't really remember all of the questions that you asked me, and I didn't write them down this time. But first off, Oxford commas. I love them. I always try to use them because they're old school, and I think that's fun. And professors tend to like them. They're generally more professional, so yes, I really like Oxford commas. As for the dust swirly-do things, I always like to think of them as sort of mini tornadoes. So the cool air and the warm air clash against each other and they cause the swirl. I like to think of walking past mini tornadoes or even walking through them. I think that's a fun idea. What else? Language. Yeah, I talked about language in the footage that I lost. Can't remember. Oh yeah, you asked me how the original languages were put together because they didn't have anything to base them on, and I have wondered that before. Like, how did someone just compilate words for everything and have them be understood by everyone? It boggles my mind that someone could point at something and say, this camera is not a camera, it is a Schlossdick. And Schlossdick. That sounded bad. Scratch that. And everyone just understand that that's what that meant, and then how could it be so widespread that everyone would know? Like, who set down the rules for that? Who decided that the one thing meant something and that everyone should follow that one person and what they think? I don't know. That also made me wonder about the very, very first language that Adam and Eve spoke. I've heard before that people who speak in tongues are speaking God's language, and that is totally separate from all of the languages on earth, that it doesn't sound anything like it. So maybe they spoke God's language. Do you think God has a language? There was a story that a Sunday school teacher told us one time that he was walking down a road and just having a really rough time, and he started talking to God, but he couldn't remember afterwards what exactly he said. He just remembered the passion with which he said it. He couldn't remember actual concrete words, and so he thinks that he was speaking in tongues. And I think that would be really cool to happen. I'd like that to happen to me. Not for anyone to hear me, because that's not important, but just to know that I'm speaking directly to God in His language. I think that would be amazing. I want that to happen. What else? It's been a pretty busy week. I went to a wedding over the weekend in Kansas City with Eric. It was Alan and Catherine's wedding. Alan was in my poetry class. He was the one who made the poem that was all pictures. Do you remember that? With the family that went to the restaurant, they were eating cat kebabs. But I was surprised with how short the ceremony was. I remember them being super duper long. Whenever I was a flower girl, they always seemed to be the longest things, during which I had to sit and stay still and be quiet. But I also remember the wedding that I went to, I think I was about 10 or 11, and that seemed really long as well. That was a special wedding because the bride had all of the guests who were coming, wear white, and then she wore hot pink. And I thought that was really fun. Not that I would want to do that, but I thought it was fun. What else? Bolivar's been pretty slow and quiet. Starting to get Bolivar fever, but Tanner and I are getting through. We went to the SBU football fields a couple of times, and we've been hitting around a soccer ball and playing with baseball, and we've been outside a lot. We set up badminton a couple of days ago, cleaned the pool. I still haven't been swimming, which is kind of weird. Yeah, that's about it. other questions. I can't remember. You are more than entitled to get on to me, by the way. I just thought I'd put that in there because I put that in the last video and I definitely want to say it. Lazy eyes. Just remember lazy eyes. I don't know that I've ever known anyone with a lazy eye before. That seems really odd to me. I don't know how that happens. Something about nerve endings or something. How do you remedy that? Is there any way to remedy that? I don't know. This video is going to be a little long, but I hope that makes up for my not making one in quite a while. I don't know. You will be the judge. But I think I'm going to go into showing you the ballet positions now, and I will talk to you later. Okay, this is first position, and it's supposed to be crazy 180 degree turnout, but my hips do not do that. That hurts. So first position, second position, which is supposed to be about the width of your hips, third position, where your heel and toes do not quite connect, fourth position, which is just a little bit apart, like that, and fifth position, your heel and your toes connect. And then I'm going to be tricky and show you sixth position, which is also known as parallel.